I'm going. Hello, good morning. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Uke Revolution Live. This is going to be a live lesson for the Bob Dylan song. Don't think twice, it's all right. And I'll tell you what, if I seem unkempt, if I seem hurried and unkempt, it's because I started falling down yet another music history rabbit hole. This morning, I was just listening to a bunch of versions of this song because I wanted to tell you some key information and style information for other versions in case you're interested in other versions of this song like I am. And I just started, clicking this and that and finding out this and that about people and things. And so I have an updo and no earrings because that's what I was doing. So hello. I'm going to go ahead and put the chord shapes on the screen. They're pretty simple today. And it's in this big white field because there's a little note below about the original key, the Bob Dylan key, that I'll get to in a minute. So welcome. If you, today I'm going to put the chords on the screen. I'll put there's one main chord pattern for this song and I'll put that on the screen too. And I'll put one verse with some lyrics so you can see an example of the chords with the lyrics. If you want the whole song arrangement, you can join. Oh, I have all of my little things off because I was recording something else on here. Okay. If you want the full arrangement for this song and access the whole library for all of these live stream lessons, all of the past ones, a lot of the lessons that are on the channel that are not live streams, you can join on Coffee, and the link is in the caption. And then you access the whole library. If you don't want to join, you can also just buy this song arrangement in the shop there. And there's some freebies in the shop. So if you want to get something for free, yay, who doesn't love something for free? Then head on over and check it out. Okay, so this is fairly simple, but we're going to talk, it's fairly simple song, but we're going to get a little bit into the styles done by other people and the keys done by other people. Because a million people have covered this song, right? And in a lot of different ways. I just heard a bossa nova version of it. It was weird. Not gonna get into that one because it was the chords are all different too. Anyway, we're using. Let me get this on. D. Move this down again, then you can see my hand. There you go. Just for a moment. D, A, B minor. You can already kind of hear it, right? G. Let me show you something about switching between the B minor and the G. So if you're using a little tiny bar shape for B minor, when you switch to the G, which happens often in this song, we change from B minor to G, then you can just pick up your ring finger and you keep your little bar finger in place and then put your middle finger on the E string, and this is a G. It's a little handy switching situation. E7. Here come the frogs in my throat this morning. E7, I like to use the 4th fret bar version of E7. So if you bar the 4th fret and then you put your middle finger on the A string of the 5th fret. I like to use this bar shape for E7. And then D7 is that same kind of shape, but it's on the 2nd fret. So barring the 2nd fret, and then you have your middle finger on the bottom string of the 3rd fret. Or you can play, both of those chords you can play with fingers. So you got 3 fingers on the top 3 strings here on the 2nd fret, and the A string, your pinky. You can do the same thing for that E7 that's on the 4th fret. 1, 2, 3 on the 4th fret. Top 3 strings. Pinky is on the A string. I'm like, does anyone play B minor? Does anybody out there try to play B minor with fingers instead of a bar? I'm not sure I can squeeze my finger in that direction. Okay. So those are the chords. Yeah, pretty simple. If you want to play the original key, the original Bob Dylan key is E. So you need capo 2. I just didn't want to play an E today. I didn't want to do it. And D is a little more comfortable, I think, for female vocalists, maybe. But if you want to play with the actual chords that correspond, instead of using capo, you can take this order of chords, and the corresponding chords are E, B, C sharp minor, A, F sharp 7, and E7. So you would take like the pattern and you just swap all those out. Whenever there's a D, you play an E instead. Whenever there's an A, there's a B. So you have to do a little bit of like transposition work, but most of the work is done for you by me already. You just have to go in to this chord pattern and swap out chords, and then you don't have to use a capo. I'm gonna close the chords. Okay, so we have one main pattern for this song. Yeah, which makes it pretty simple, but it's kind of long. In between all these forward slashes is 4 beats. Briefly talking about, no, I'll go back to strumming in a minute. So we have D for 4, A for 4, B minor for 8, G for 8, D for 4, and A for 4. And then the first half of that line we're going to repeat. D, A, B minor the same way. Then we're playing E7 for 8 and A for 8 instead. On the third line, we have D for 8, D7 for 8, G for 8, and E7 for 8. And then we finish with D for 4, A for 4, B minor for 4, G for 4, D for 4, A for 4, and D for 8. So we only have this one pattern to learn, but it's kind of long. For strumming, I did not even put like an image on the screen because we are using, okay, the first option. For if you're playing in the same kind of folk style as Bob and a lot of the cover versions, they use finger picking, which I'll get to in a second. But if you want just a strum pattern, you can use the island strum. Depending on whose cover you're following, it's going to be pretty quick. Down, down, up, down, up. So if we play, like, for example, just the first line of the verse with island strum, it would sound like this. Down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, D, A, B minor. And it's pretty slow. G, D, A. If you play at the tempo-ish of Bob Dylan, his recording is kind of all over the place. He was driving me a bit crazy last night because I couldn't find much history of the recording of that song, but it sounds to me like it was like a one-take thing. He's not following a drummer, he's not following a metronome, he's just playing the song. So he has a lot of like tempo change that just comes as part of the Bob Dylan style. And it's kind of hard to keep up with, especially because he's doing that really light finger picking thing. And the way that he phrases his lyrics, famously, also makes it really hard to find like where the beat is. Because it's just very loose. And that's the beauty of Bob Dylan. So if you're playing kind of at the Bob Dylan-ish speed. 1, 2, 3, 4, D, A, B minor, G, D, A, D, A, B minor. It's pretty quick. So you're keeping your strum very within like the width of the neck. And it's like I like to say sometimes, a whisper. Some of the strums are a whisper of an intention of the part of the strum pattern that it's meant to be. Okay. I'm just turning this uke up a little bit. For finger picking, like, yeah, we are going to play through the whole thing, the whole pattern in a minute. I got this rigged up how I want it. Yay. Okay. If you want a little finger picking pattern to do to mimic kind of the, the original style of this song, what do we call it? Travis picking or something? I got it where I want it, and then I moved it, and now it's doing something weird. Wait a minute. Oh, I know what I did. I loosened it last night so it wouldn't have so much strain on this thing, and I got to tighten it again. Time out for 1 second, please. Oops. That's too far. Okay, that ought to do it. That ought to do it. Hello, ukulele butterfly. Okay, little finger picking thing that you can do, and this is on this little finger picking tab is on the song sheet. This is like my go-to one for doing this kind of Travis picking, I think we call it. It is 3-2-1-4. So we're plucking with the thumb and the pointer finger, top to bottom. The inner strings, and then the outer strings, top to bottom. The fingers. It's the thumb and the pointer. And then for the bottom string, whichever one you like better, the middle or the ring. I tend to do the ring finger. I don't know why. Oh, no, the middle, yeah. I'll show you. Thumb, pointer, thumb, middle for the bottom. 3, 2, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I'm doing it right. 3, 2. I said it wrong before. Oh my God. 3, 2, 4, 1. 3, 2, 4, 1. 3, 2, 4, 1. 2, 4, 1. 3, 2, 4, 1. Yeah, so it's thumb, pointer, thumb, middle. Thumb, pointer, thumb, middle. Thumb, pointer, thumb, middle. Finger picking thing. Again, if you try to play along with Bob and you're doing a little finger picking thing, it's kind of hard to keep up with him. And he was driving me crazy last night. When I was making this arrangement and putting the little chords over the lyrics, trying to do it where he does, because his phrasing is so odd and all over the place. I know, too many. It's so much easier to do it than to explain it. Like, the story of my life is having trouble explaining things so that people can do them. So that is 3, 2, 4, 1, thumb, pointer, thumb, middle. And I was thinking about this last night because I think I learned that initially from Ukulele Underground. Like, I don't think I watched that many videos a million years ago when there were not that many ukulele channels. And shout out to Ukulele Underground because I did use some of their lessons when I was learning. And I think I learned that from them. That little picking pattern. Okay, but right now, because I have trouble keeping up with this. So you're doing 2 rounds of that little picking pattern for each bar. If there's 1 bar of D, you're doing that bump, 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 bump 2 times. A. And then B minor will get 4 of them. G. D. A. Ukulele Butterfly says, I do the opposite outside than inside. Yeah, do whatever works for you. This is just a suggestion. There's so many picking patterns. If you have one that works for you, do it. I just wanted to give everybody one. Okay, that was a very long-winded discussion about picking. So let's play the verse chords, and I'm going to go pretty slow because I would play this song a bit slower anyway. Let's play the verse chords with down, down, up, down, up. And then we'll play through a verse with the lyrics, and then I'm going to talk a bit about like other people's versions and keys, and another idea for strumming if you want to play this in a different style. Okay, that's what's happening. We're going to go about this fast. Down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. 1, 2, 3 on the D. A, B minor, G, D, A second line, D, A, B minor, E7, A, third line, D7, G, E7. I'm doing the other one now. Fourth line, D, A, B minor, G, D, A, D. Things I just noticed about how I play this. I do tend to do the 3 fingers position for the D, because then it's, backwards. I do tend to do the fingers position for the D7, because when you change from the D, all you have to do is add that pinky. So you have the D, and you put your pinky down, it's the D7. Because normally, often I would do that with the bar shape. I'm missing my back pillow. It's on the bed. Okay. I'll survive. I'm sitting up very straight because my back pillow is gone. Okay, what did I want to do? Play it with the lyrics. The lyrics is... So this may seem like kind of a random choice for this channel. This may seem kind of like a random song selection. There are some other Bob Dylan songs around here. I know one of them is I Shall Be Released, and I feel like there's another one, but I can't remember what it is. But way back in the day when I first started playing, one of the first groups that I played with was a folk group. A lot of the music I was playing initially was like folk music, because the people I was playing with were acoustic musicians, doing a lot of like bluegrass, folk, country, traditional Irish music. Like that's how I first honed my chops, was playing at like acoustic jams, this kind of stuff. And I used to play this solo when I started doing solo gigs, but I actually played it in E. I don't know why I tortured myself like that at such early stages of my playing, because my voice was higher. But I heard this song recently. I think I heard it somewhere and I thought, oh yeah, I would like that to be in the library because I really like that song, and it's such an iconic song. So many people have covered it. Let's do it. Okay, so we'll do a little verse. And I want to tell you something about the interludes in a minute too, but let's play the verse with the lyrics first. And pick up the pace just a little bit. So also on that note of Bob Dylan phrasings, please excuse the interruption. It's possible that the way that I sing this right now doesn't exactly match with Bob's phrasing. This arrangement does. I did my best to put the chord over where he phrases the lyrics, and it's not that standard for me. Sometimes it's not what my instinct would be. And a lot of the cover versions have adjusted the phrasing of the melody and the lyrics, especially if it's more than one singer, to make it less like spontaneous sounding, to make it less speech-like, so that they can all sing together. This phrasing's a little more standard. So I'm going to try to follow Bob's, but I may get it off sometimes. 1, 2, 3, here we go. It ain't no use to sit and wonder why, babe. If you don't know by now, it ain't no use to sit and wonder why, babe. It never do somehow. When your rooster crows at the break of dawn, look out your window and I'll be gone. You're the reason I'm traveling on, but don't think twice, it's alright. Hey, I think I nailed all of them. Yes. He does this weird thing. I think it's weird, but it makes it sound like Bob Dylan, where he puts the lyric right on the one. And an example of it is this: "You're the reason." And you, like, for me, I would wait a second, but he just goes right for it, like right on the one. And it's not, I feel like it's not that standard of a thing to do. Like, let me show you the difference. I'm gonna go from "Look Out Your Window." Look out your window and I'll be gone. You're the reason. That's on the one. If I pause and do what I think is kind of would be like a more standard phrasing, it sounds like this. Look out your window. Even here. Wait. Look out your window and I'll be gone. You're the reason I'm traveling on. Like the "you're" coming after the D. You're the reason I'm traveling on. It's just these little Bob Dylan things that Bob Dylan did in this recording. I really wanted to know the history of this recording because it sounds like they went in to record and his producer went, "Hey, what do you got today, Bob?" And he went, "Well, here's one I've been working on," and just played it, and then that was the recording. That's why it's such a great recording. I love some of his recordings because they sound so spontaneous. Okay, something about the interludes in this song. Didn't I put it on here? Let me see. Yeah. For the intro for Bob's recording, the intro of Bob's recording is the last line of the verse. And this makes for a really standard interlude. And this is noted on the song sheet, in his recording, and this is another thing that just makes it sound really off the cuff, every single interlude is a little bit different. And this was also driving me crazy last night. Like, Bob, damn you, Bob Dylan. So every interlude on the song sheet is notated the way that he did it, as best my ear could hear from the little picky picks. It's so all over the place. It's like each one is a teeny bit different. But most cover versions, they have a standardized interlude. So in between each verse, you would play the same thing. And that's like a normal songwriting thing to do and a normal performance thing to do, especially with a band or with a group of singers. So this is a good like standard interlude to use if you don't want to change it up every time. If you want it to be the same and consistent every time. So like, if you're memorizing it, it's just easier to do that. If you're playing with a group of people, the band, it's easier to do that. This is a good standard one. I listened to so many cover versions this morning. You can also just not have an interlude. So you go straight from the end of one verse to another. James Taylor, I heard a James Taylor version this morning, and he did that. I didn't listen to the whole thing. I listened to verse 1, beginning of verse 2. So I know that he just went straight from verse 1 to verse 2. The version that I know really well, and when I used to play it, it's the one I referenced, is the Indigo Girls with Brandi Carlile. And they use something like this, but they actually go back to, they use the first line. They use the first line of the verse. So instead of this D, oh no, it's totally different. They use the first line of the verse. So they got this nice little turnaround with the A at the end of each interlude. So there's like a lot of different things you can do. Obviously, Bob showed us that in his recording. To my great annoyance last night. But this is a good like standard one to use if you want to keep it. If you want to keep it consistent, keep it uniform throughout. So I made a little list. What I do with it? Let me see. Okay, the Peter, Paul, and Mary version is in E flat, as well as the Indigo Girls and Brandi Carlile version. They play in E flat, so if you want to play along with like that rendition, you can use capo 1. I forgot to check James Taylor. And then I didn't really find, like so far I didn't really find anybody who did actually the same key as Bob. Like I know that can't be true. Somebody must be doing it in the original key. And then Joan Baez and Odetta did it in D, which is this version. So this is actually the same as Joan Baez and Odetta. Okay, so we're going to talk about Odetta because I feel kind of stupid that I never heard about her before. like a Spotify like search result, and I didn't explore further, but this morning that was the first one I listened to, and I was like, what is this? I started Googling her. I'm like, why don't I know who this is? I felt so like robbed. Like, why did it take me so long? Why did it take me so long to get there? Ukulele Butterfly asks, what key did Bob do? It's the one that I don't know if you were here at the start. He did E. So if you want to play an E, it's capo 2. Or you can use these corresponding chords, E, B, C sharp minor, A, F sharp 7, E7, and you swap out every time there's like a D in the arrangement, you swap it out for E, etc. He did it in E. Okay, so the Odetta version, she does this like blue kind of marching blues sort of version, and it is so cool. I'm like, well, now I'm going to talk about all the different versions on the live stream because it's not just Peter, Paul, and Mary sort of, and the like just copying the same folk style. And I have another little anecdote that's kind of funny later. So in the Odetta version, the strum that she's using is the strum that they're using is this kind of, there's got to be a word for it that I don't know. This like marching style. It's very bluesy. So if you want to mimic that style, which is what I'm going to do from now on when I play this song, it's so cool. It's down, chunk up, down, chunk up, down, chunk. Well, it's more like chunk. Chunk, chunk up, chunk, chunk up, chunk, chunk up, chunk. It's a really punctuated down strum. Chunk up, down, chunk up, down, chunk up, down, chunk up, down, chunk up, down. No, I'm doing all those as downs. I just figured this out like an hour ago, so give me a second. Down, down, up, 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 down. And I'm playing the intro right now. Let me play the verse. I turned that off. down hammer on. Is that what it's called? Yeah. Often I just do stuff and I don't know what it's called. But yeah, I'm like muting I'm muting every strum. So I'm gonna try to do. Yeah, I'll do a verse like in the Odetta style. I haven't practiced it yet. It probably won't sound as cool as her. Down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down. And you see I'm muting the strings by releasing the squeeze. I'm also letting the palm of like the heel of my hand hit the strings down here, so it mutes all the strings every time. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ain't no use to sit and wonder why, babe. G. If and you don't know by now, ain't no use to sit and wonder why, babe. It'll never do somehow. When your rooster crows at the break of dawn, look out your window, I'll be gone. You're the reason I'm a traveling on. But don't think twice, it's alright. You see what I mean? I was also looking for places that she added, because it sounds so bluesy, but I think it's just the other instruments. I'm like, can we add a 7 somewhere? And I was trying that. I'm like, no, she doesn't really add any. She doesn't really change the chords that much to make it sound bluesier. Like there's no 7s added that I can really tell in the main kind of instrumentation. Love it. She's my new favorite. I'm like, oh, I'm going to go down a rabbit hole later of Odetta stuff. But right now I have to live stream. Oh, there was one other version. This was really interesting to me. There's a version by Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons that they did under a pseudonym called Wonder Who. And this was like around the time that this song was released. The Four Seasons was like at peak popularity, and they made a recording of this song and they released it as a joke to see if they could still have a hit without the name The Four Seasons being attached to it. It's kind of, I don't know, it's almost a little bit of a jerk move. Like there's people trying to make it who also nobody knows who they are, but it worked. They released this song as a joke under the pseudonym Wonder Who, and it went to number 12. So maybe it didn't do as well as like an actual Four Seasons song would do, but it still did pretty well. So good for you guys. I thought that was an interesting little anecdote. I didn't listen to that one. I didn't have time to listen to that one this morning. I just thought that was interesting. Okay, so I'm going to play the whole thing in the style of Bob Dylan. And I'm going to get out of here. That's going to be it. So I'm going to put just the chords back up if you want to follow along. And I'm going to do... I'm like, do I do the interludes from the song sheet? Should I do the crazy interludes? Interludes that are all over the place. Yeah, I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna play it how it's notated on the song sheet. So if you don't have the arrangement you're following along at home, you just have to kind of hang out in between. Hang out in between verses. Wait for the verse to come back. Because I'm going to do all of Bob's bizarre, wacky, totally different every time interludes. Hit the like button, please. Thank you. I didn't say it today. Do the YouTubey things, as one of my favorite YouTubers says. Emily D. Baker. She's a lawyer. Do the YouTubey things, guys. So, I'll holler at you when the verse is coming in. If you're following with the song sheet, we're starting at the intro. 1, 2, 3, D. Verse 1. Ain't no use to sit and wonder why, babe. If any you don't know by now. It ain't no use to sit and wonder why, babe. It never do somehow. Your rooster crows at the break of dawn. Look out your window and I'll be gone. You're the reason I'm traveling on. Don't think twice, it's alright. Here's an interlude. Verse 2. Ain't no use in turning on your light, babe. The light that I never know. Second line. Ain't no use in turning on your light, babe. I'm on the dark side of the road. Third line. I wish that there was something you could do or say to try and make me change my mind and stay. Fourth line. We never did too much talking anyway. Don't think twice, it's alright. Now I got a weird interlude. I already lost myself. B minor, G, D. Verse 3. Oops. It ain't no use in calling out my name, girl, like you never done before. It ain't no use in calling out my name, girl, well, I can't hear you anymore. I'm thinking and I'm wondering, walking down the road. I once loved a woman, a child I am told. I gave her my heart, and she wanted my soul. But don't think twice, it's alright. A, B minor, G. G. G, weird interlude, D. A, D. Okay, verse 3. So long, honey, baby. Where I'm bound, I can't tell. Goodbye's too good of a word, babe. So I'll just say fairly well. Ain't no saying you treated me unkind. You could have done better, but I don't mind. You just kind of wasted my precious time. Don't think twice, it's alright. And then we're playing a verse as the outro. D, A, B minor, G. Second line. And the ending, I didn't tell you guys about the ending before. The last line at the end of the song, this last bar that's second to last bar, that's D. Wait, let me see. D, A, B minor, G, G, A, D. Okay, there's an extra bar. So the last bar of D, you got D for 2, G for 2, and then there's an extra bar because you end on D. So that last line will be D, A, B minor, G, D, A, D, D, G, D. 1 2 3 4. 1 2 3 4. Yeah. Yay. Hi, Jacob. Hi, Carmela. Yay, this song. Yes, yay, this song. Love this song. Do you know that I'm glad Bob said something about it? Because he said he wrote it more as like, this is what you would tell yourself. Like if you're trying to make yourself feel better because you have to leave or because somebody left you and they're like, this is what they're thinking. Although by the end, he's kind of pissed off, right? You wasted my time. That's such an insult. Ugh, what a waste of time this was. So apparently he wrote this after his girlfriend at the time. I can't remember her name because it's something uncommon. Somebody might remember her name in the chat. I don't know. She left to go back somewhere. So she's on the cover of the album. It's the famous picture of them walking down the street. Yeah. So if you really pay attention to like the lyrics, and it's kind of long, 4 verses, and he's sort of saying the same thing over and over again a bit. It almost feels like he's like, all right, well, I gotta go. And she's like, yep, see you later. And he's like, so I'm gonna go now. Like, yeah, call me later. And she's like, yep, okay. You just imagine her kind of going, all right, yep, see you around. Like, can you leave now, please, sir? Hi, Allie. Yeah, it's a little bit, and then it feels almost a little bit at the end, like, if that joke, if you're a woman, where some guy approaches you and you're like, I have a boyfriend, and he's like, well, you're ugly anyway. Like, it feels like a little bit like that kind of dialogue. Yeah, well, you weren't that nice to me, and you wasted my time. I'm leaving. And she's still going, yep, see you later. Nice knowing you. So I'm glad that he remarked about this song, but it's kind of like, these are the things you might say to yourself in your head if you were in this situation, like trying to sort of make yourself feel better or like convince yourself it's the right thing to do to leave. Or, yeah, I thought that was interesting, and I'm glad that he gave that perspective on it. Because it's so mean at the end. You wasted my time. Peace out. But it's fine. And the whole don't think twice, it's all right. It's fine. It's fine. Whatever. Yeah. Sounds a little bit mean sometimes, but I can see where this would be like a monologue in your head. I just wanted to show you guys because this was cracking me up this morning. I rolled over on my tuner yesterday. It was like this. It was like this on my ukulele, and it was in my bed, and I rolled over this part and I cracked the tuner. So it looks like this now. This is my tuner now. But it actually works. It actually still works. It's still, this tuner, when it's in tune, it goes from orange to green. It still turns green. It just, you can't see, it doesn't have the letters anymore. But I got this uke out to do the live stream, and I had the tuner like this bent down, and I propped it up. And even when it's off, you can see that it's just, the screen's messed up. And I went, yeah, I sat on this yesterday, didn't I? It's so messed up now. But it still works. It still turns green. So maybe I can still use it until I get one that I didn't sit on. Okay. I think that's it. Although I kind of want to do, that's like the lesson and the regular cover. I kind of want to do, I might do like the last 2 verses do the last two verses as the Odetta version, just for like, I don't know, having a recording and my own practice because it's fun. So if anybody wants to hear any more of that style or play along, you can stick around. If not, thank you for joining me, everybody. I was very happy to do this song because it's kind of sentimental value for me. And then I got very excited this morning when I found out all these little tidbits about it. Yeah. Yay. Thanks, Bob. So I'm going from verse 3. Wait. That's not what I said I did before. Ain't no use calling. Wait, I can't get into it because I've got the down, down, up, and down, up in my head. Ain't no use calling out my name, girl, like you never done before. Ain't no use calling out my name, girl, I can't hear you anymore. I'm thinking and wondering, walking down the road. I once loved a woman, a child I am told. Gave her my heart, but she wanted my soul. I don't think twice, it's alright. Oh, I'm doing something different now. What is it? Down, up, chunk, up, 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 down, up, chunk, up. I was thinking about this one too when I was listening to Odetta's version, because it's down, up. It's just a continuous down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. But every other down is a chunk. Down, up, chunk, up, down, up, chunk, up, down, up, chunk, up, down, up, chunk, up, down, up, chunk, up. Okay, I'm doing the verse 3. So long, honey, baby, where I'm bound, I can't tell. Goodbye's a too good a word, babe. So I'll just say fairly well. I ain't saying you treated me unkind. You could have done better, but I don't mind. You just kind of wasted my precious time. But don't think twice, it's alright. I don't think twice, it's alright. Don't think twice, it's alright. Yeah, her way of doing that sounds way cooler than mine, because she's got a bit more instrumentation going on. All right, that's it, everybody, for this Bob Dylan song. If you are still here, don't forget to hit the like button. Thanks for hanging out all the way to the end, and I will see you later in the week with another live stream. Peace out, everybody. Happy strumming. Stay funky. Bye.